Hello guys. So first of all, thank everybody for the very nice messages and comments, hoping that I would feel better. My back starts to feel better. It is feeling a lot better. I did make a video last night because the only thing I did was play some games and sleep a lot. I slept a lot since I got hurt. I even took a nap today, which I'm not a person who takes naps, but my back is feeling a lot better now. It's just simply if I'm about to sneeze or I breathe in deep, there are like two ribs, an upper and a lower, that like are sore. So apparently I bruised a couple of my ribs. But outside that, my back's back to normal again. So that's good. I'm man. You know, it's funny because I know Retro Roadshow had left a comment about how he'd thrown his back out. I have thrown my back out twice in my life, and they're both completely my wife's fault, by the way. She goes, how is it my fault? Because every time she buys something to replace something she has, she makes it heavier than the thing before her. I think she's trying to either kill me or see if I snap like a twig. Because there was a point early on when we were together that we moved 5 times in 7 years. It was about 8 years ago we were moving, and I went to go move something, and my back gave out. A pain shot up my back like I never felt before, and for a couple days, you know, my back hurt. Like if I moved a certain way, it just felt pain up my back, and oh, it hurt so bad. And the problem with when your back's out like that, no matter, you try to compensate like the way you think's comfortable. By doing that, you end up aggravating other parts of your back. So, and then about 4 years ago, I threw my back out, and that one was it took a long time because I actually went to work and worked through my back being out. But it may have took longer for it too, but eventually it was fine, and haven't had it since then. The only time like my back has ever been sore or hurt is usually when I don't sleep a lot and don't drink a lot of liquids. That's usually when my back usually hurts. And being aware of it now, like you're younger, you don't aware of those things, but being older and aware of those things, you know, the minute you start to know it, you start, okay, time to get some sleep, time to put some liquids in my body, and so it doesn't get any worse. But enough about that, you know. And nobody should feel bad about thumbsing up that last video. I know it says back pain, and people feel like, oh, I feel bad thumbing this up because you got hurt. Well, you know what? It's life. You're gonna get hurt. You just have to learn to deal with it and move through things. You know, I'm one of those people, especially when it comes to my videos, I make videos that I like. If people like it, great. If they don't like it, screw them. It's kind of my mentality. Actually, with a lot of things in life, to be honest with you, I really don't get worked up with those things because life's too short to worry about. I have friends on YouTube who I talk to on Skype who they worry too much about what the other bigger channels in the gaming community are doing or on YouTube are doing, and when they do something different or they do something a certain way, they've got to do it that way, thinking that'll bring them subs or success or happiness with their channel. And the truth is it never does, because unless you find the way you like to do it, and as long as you like it, you're not going to be happy. Why are you on YouTube anyway if you're not making the video you like? That's always been my thing. I mean, some people are the kind where, hey, you may have to heavily edit your video to make you happy or make it the way you like it. Other people, they have to have everything scripted out, especially if you're doing like when you're doing a gameplay or a guide on how to beat a game. Obviously you have to script it out, and I'm more the person, I like to do things on the fly. In my community videos, I write down the person's name of their channel and their video, or if I talk about their comments, so that I get it right. I feel like to treat them with the respect that they left it, I should at least, if I'm going to shout their video or their comment, at least say it the way they wrote it, not say it off memory and get it wrong. But everything else is on the fly. I'm the kind of person, I just like to do things on the fly. I like to just, whatever on my mind, I put it out there, and that's fine. I'm not one of those people that have to, if I miss something, I got another video to talk about it. So, but outside of that, I have been playing a couple of games. I played a little NFL Blitz 2000 yesterday, and on my Dreamcast, and it's NFL Blitz. It's probably as close to the arcade game I've ever seen, and I'm still mad about the last game I played on Blitz, actually, because I don't read instruction booklets. who needs instruction booklets, right? If I get stuck where I can't do anything, I'll come back, get the instruction booklet, and look at it. That's what I do. But so it took me to about halftime to learn how to do turbo and get all the buttons down. They had built a lead on me, but in the fourth quarter, when it came down to 15 seconds, they had a 3-point lead on me. It was 24-21. And I did a Hail Mary, went halfway down the field. I had 2 seconds left. I did another Hail Mary. My wide receiver caught it. He crossed the goal line. Their defender grabbed him and threw him back, and the game said he did not score a touchdown. I won the game, but yet I lost. Oh, that sucks. But I know next time I play them, because I know the controls, I'm going to slaughter the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, I had played with the Chicago Bears, and they weren't entirely that good then. But that doesn't matter. I always played the Bears and Blitz. Actually, you know what I like to do? When I used to play the arcade game of Blitz, and this is how cocky I was, when a guy would come in there and talk about how great he was, I would pick the worst team in the game and beat him with that team. Because the one thing that Blitz used to have is you used to hike the ball. You could cut all the way to one side of the field, let's say the left side. The wide receiver takes off all the way down the right side of the field and then bomb that ball all the way across and catch it down the field. The one flaw in that game was when you went deep in the arcade game, the other wide receiver at some point would either stagger or veer off your guy for just long enough where your guy could catch the ball and score a touchdown. Now, if the other guy switched that guy, then you were in trouble, because then he could just hit you and the ball would pop in the air and then he'd get an interception. So I used to use that play a lot on people. There was a guy really good where we, in the arcade we played at, he had beaten everybody at Blitz, and I had played him one time. He played with Dallas, and I was playing Chicago Bears, which weren't entirely great in that game. And he had a 21-point lead on me in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, I came back and scored 4 touchdowns on him. I'm not sure how I did it, to be honest with you, but I did, and he was upset. And he wanted a rematch, and then I beat him. I slaughtered him the second rematch. Because when you play those games, once you learn what a person's pattern does, if they're observant, once they learn your pattern and what you do, because a lot of guys on those games like Blitz, they do the same thing a couple plays over and over again. Once you learn their pattern, they're dead in the water, especially if they don't know any more than those 2 plays. If you know a guy who has learned all the plays in that game, it's really hard to beat that guy, because he knows which, you know, he'll pick different plays, or he'll adjust to, he'll see what you're using, and maybe you come up on the defense all the time, or maybe you go back, so he'll do a light pass because you go deep all the time, or he'll do a deep pass because you're always up on the line and get you. So, but I also did play Terraria again. It just came out with the update, fixed a lot of bugs, more online bugs, because there were a lot of online bugs, security bugs in that game. And we were playing multiplayer again last night, and we were just going our own way in the game, in the world. And I'd mined all this kind of rock, and so I went up to one of the guys' room in the game. I meant to build stairs up to his treasure chest, just to let him know that somebody had done something different in his room, not like to be helpful, just to be, you know, goofing off. But instead, I end up using all those blocks and blocking off the entire room where you couldn't get to the chest on the other side. Being a dick, okay? I don't know. It just got into me, laughing, thinking this is funny. And then the other guy, because we're all on Skype when we're talking, and he left me a message going, "What did you do to this guy's room?" Because it wasn't his room. I go, "What? I didn't do nothing." And I put a smiley face on there, and and the other guy happened to just wake up, who I did this to in the game, and he didn't get in the game. But he's like, "What did you do to my room?" "Fix my room. You're all going to pay when I get in there if you don't fix my room." And then the other guy said fixed it, but it was just funny because he was so upset. He didn't know what I did. He just knew I did something. And I was thinking, man, that's pretty much of a dick. He might make me pay for that when they're playing that game multiplayer when I'm not in it. But that's all right. Games are about having fun. They're not about actually Terraria. It's about having a lot of fun, especially multiplayer. And what else did I play? Oh yes, I played a little game. It's called Skyrim. I couldn't get to that journal. I kept getting killed. I tried to use my scroll, which would paralyze everybody in a certain area one time for a short amount of time. Those 4 guys, but my companion kept getting in the way, so she kept getting paralyzed. and then and then we were being heavy in a fight, and I would accidentally hit her or douse her with magic, because it only takes one time for you to hit them, for the enemies can kill them. And so she would die every time, and they would kill me because I couldn't fight 4 of them at once. So I left. Figure I'll come back to that later, get a little stronger. I never really built up my armor, so I need to build up my armor and weapons. So that's what I'm going to do. Go blacksmithing and build better armor and upgrade my weapons in that game. And I went to another town, and I was in there, and I bought a horse. I never bought a horse before. And the guy said, okay, well, okay. And he talked to the other guy, and then I stood there for 5 minutes, and they didn't say, take your horse. They didn't say, it's your horse. And so I went back to him and go, after I have the money, I'll buy another horse from him. He said, sorry, you bought the last horse I have. I just sit there, but it said steel horse on it. But I said, you know what, I'm going to take it. They're not waiting for me. And then they said I stole my horse. And then the guards came out. Me and my companion killed about a dozen of them, and eventually they took us out. There was, just couldn't. They just kept coming and coming, and so I was like, well, that sucks. Well, I wonder if that was a glitch in the game, like the game just didn't reset that was my horse or something. But so I restarted up today, and I'm going to go do some of the miscellaneous quests, because I have something like 60, 70 miscellaneous quests I haven't done yet, so I'm going to knock some of those out. I haven't completed the main story. I will at some point. I just like going around the world. I will do the story, but it's not like, for me, it's not like I have to do the story first. I like to, because I like this open world game, I want to get everything out of it. I'll just go do some quests and then go back and do the journal thing first, because it's one of my main quests in the game. And then I'll go back and do the story part of the game. But I'm going to probably sink some time into that game tonight. What else am I going to play tonight? That's a good question. I do have a lot of other work to do. I have to answer all my comments from the last community video on my other channel. I have to do a little more work on that. I got some work done on that. It's funny because, I do not like YouTube's new feed system, where if you know that they show everything that you watch, the kind of like, I like to have a little privacy in what I watch, what I don't watch. I like to don't like everybody to know everything I'm watching. Not for the videos I make, but just in general. Sometimes what if one of my friends put the thing about the feed? What if I'm on YouTube and I decide to look up some, let's say he says like some adult stuff or some stuff people don't, you don't want people to see that. Why doesn't YouTube allow you to, in the feed, is there a way to YouTube allow you to not let everybody see everything that you do? But there's really not a lot. I mean, the only thing I watch, mostly gaming community videos. Yeah, sometimes I'll watch the bigger channels on YouTube. I'll watch wrestling on YouTube, but that's pretty much it, I was thinking on my other channel I might or maybe this one, I'm going to make a playlist and just go grab other videos from people's videos and put it in that playlist of commercials. I have this diet to make a playlist of old commercials from the 80s and 70s of video game system commercials that I grew up around in the 90s. Just let people watch other people's videos who did that stuff, but just make a list of it. So if I want to watch that video, like the original Legend of Zelda commercial or the Atari 2600 commercials or something, that would be kind of cool. But, well, I've babbled on way too long today, guys, so I will talk to you guys tomorrow.